Good morning, Church on the Hill. Well, here we are ready to start the various testimonies for the next 10 weeks. And some of you may be asking, how come 10 weeks? If you remember in the testimony that I gave last Sunday, that we knew we were coming to the holidays and we didn't want to put pressure on folks thinking about wanting to give and sharing to give. So we decided to expand that over a period of time, which took us into January. And as I said as last week, the day that we're looking at, the one great day of giving, will be on January the 25th. But it is because of the testimony of this morning coming that we had decided on the 10 weeks because of Tammy and Troy and their ability to give in past years. It helped me to understand there are those out there who can't do something over a couple weeks or right away. But if a person had time to put something away maybe each week or each month, that they could do more than they had hoped to do just in one quick single giving. So wanting to start off the year on a strong financial springboard for the rest of the year, we came up with January 25th. But over the 10 weeks and the increment ideas and some other ideas is the reason that I wanted Troy and Tammy to be the first ones to share with you this week, so that over the next 9 weeks you have an idea. If that's you, you have a chance for 9 weeks to put something away or to do something that will honor God. So I'm going to have them share their unique testimony. I think you will find it very unique and helpful.
I was involved in a church ministry several years ago where there was a mission trip scheduled, and one of the things that I learned about giving is that God will meet the need of the people, and in doing so, the pastor challenged us to give not just of our income, but to give based on the money that we expected to pay. Let me give you an example. One of the things that he said was that he only wanted us to pledge to give the money that we expected to already spend. For example, if someone asked us out to lunch and they covered our lunch, well, we might have expected to pay $20 or $30 for that meal, but whoever invited us may have offered to pay for that meal. And so we decided that based on that campaign that they did, that we expected to spend that $30, so we kept that $30 aside and we gave it to the church. We had an example where we overpaid our State Farm bill, our insurance bill, and I think it was $92 or $3, and State Farm gave us that money back. Well, we didn't expect that money. That money was already spent. We didn't expect to get it, and so we gave that $92 to the church. And so incrementally, as God kept providing for us things that we didn't expect, we kept giving to the Lord the things that we expected to spend that we didn't, saving, like I said, a bill or something like that. And it really was quite a substantial amount of money, and it taught me the challenge that God gives us when he says, test me. This is the one area in the Bible where God says, test me and see if I won't fill the storehouses. And so we decided to test God with these extra funds that came our way. And it turned out to be a great blessing. And we didn't have to give any more money for that missions trip because the folks that pledged the money was able to cover that missions trip. And none of the people who went on the trip had to raise any money outside of what people pledged to give as a result of the things that they might have saved. It was awesome.
That is awesome. And you come from a little bit different perspective about an incremental giving over a period of time.
So one of the things that Troy and I do is we collect dollar bills that have a G or they have an A on it, so for God Almighty. And we also collect dimes. So anytime we go out, we try as much as we can to pay in cash. And that way we get our money back, and it's really become something that we look forward to doing. We have a good time with it. And it's there's this little moment of anticipation of like, what did we get? What did we get? So even if we know that we have the exact change, but we know that we're going to get some dimes back, we won't use the exact change. What we do instead is we give the money and then we look back and we go through our bills. Did we have any G's or did we have any A's? How many dimes do we have? And we set that money aside. Now, we don't go crazy with it. We're not like trading in 20s for, 21s with G's and A's. But we do look for that. And it's just one thing where, if you trust God, He's going to prove Himself faithful time and time again. He has for us. And then we've taken that money and we've used it in different ways over the years because we've been doing it for quite some time now. Sometimes we've given it to the VBS when we're given to the children's home. Sometimes we've given it at Harvest Day. It's just whenever a need comes up and we've got this money that's basically just kind of sitting around waiting, to be given to the church. And that's what we do. And so it's hard sometimes when you think, I'm looking at my finances, I'm paying the bills, and I just don't have any money to spare. I don't have anything to give, any extra to give. But when you're talking about $1 here and a dime there, that's really less than a cup of coffee, that you're giving out. And so again, it goes back to this idea of miracle math, of that the numbers should not work out. You know what your income is, you know what your outgo is, but somehow it just does work out. And it goes back to what Troy said, you cannot outgive God. So the more you give, the more God is going to bless you, and whether it's financially or spiritually or in other ways, but you just cannot outgive Him.
I know you two have done this for several years because I first put that in my memory bank when I first heard what you two were doing. I've never heard anyone else ever do that or to look at giving like that over a period of time. And it so intrigued me, and is one of the reasons why I asked them to come and to share their testimony and how they come to embrace such an idea or ideas of giving. And I think it's not only been a blessing to them, but it's also be a blessing to you. For those who say, well, I can't or not right now, you've got another 10 weeks to go at it. And so we just ask you to join us when it says, God says, as Troy said, prove me, trust me, test me, see if I cannot do something in your life that's not been done before. So we hope you take the challenge in joining us in these coming weeks.